Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall analyze David Sedaris' Us and Them from Dress Your Family in Corduroy and Denim. Us and Them is not only an amusing story about a small boy's perception of and his growing interest towards a family that is different from his own family. It is also a thought-provoking piece that sheds light on many issues, such as the impact of technology on individuals and their lives as a whole. Now, Sedaris was not trying to make a case about whether watching television is good or bad, healthy or unhealthy. He is not at all telling us whether it is good or bad. Instead, through his narration, he was able to convey to the audience the power that something such as television could have upon a person. The narrator comes from a family where watching television was a commonplace activity that was a big part of his everyday life, to the point where he simply couldn't fathom the idea of one family living without TV. As opposed to almost everyone else in the neighborhood, the Tomke family were the only people to live a life which was not consumed by television. That is, their time was not spent for television, because Mr. Tomke did not believe in television. Now, this idea struck the narrator as particularly bizarre, because it's funny how just the simple little fact that the Tomkes didn't watch television was enough to make the narrator pity them. He felt sorry for them just because they did not have a television in their house. And as time went, he started spying on their home, because he wanted to know what life will be without television. And there were some pretty nice statements told by the narrator. For example, he says that because they did not have TV, the Tomkeys were forced to talk during dinner. Now, this shows that in their house they will not talk during dinner because they are all busy watching TV. And another thing is, it's clear that the narrator pities the Tomkeys and their lifestyle, but his life is the one that seems more sad and empty. The Tomkeys may not know what styles are fashionable, or they were not able to understand about the current popular culture references, but they are actually enjoying the time and they are spending time with one another. Watching television could certainly be a group activity, but in society today, technology seems to be used more and more as a means to keep the persons from ever having an actual interaction with others on a personal and deep level. At the same time, it's interesting to see the narrator treat the Tomkeys as essentially as a television show for his own personal amusement. He completely disregards that as actual people until they show up at his house to ask for candy. When the narrator went to get candy from the Tomkeys' residence the night before, they had placed a sign up saying, "Don't be greedy." In a perfect ironic twist, the story ends with the narrator being the epitome of greedy when he decides to try to eat all his candies instead of dealing with giving just a couple of pieces of the candies to the Tomke children. And when the mother tells the boy to really take a look at himself, it finally hits the narrator how foolishly he has been acting, although it doesn't seem as if he is willing to make any changes to his behavior.